up? Getting there. What's up? What's up? Oh shit, hang on. Let me put this over here. Alright, now I can hear you. What's up, Marin C? Oh, hopefully that works. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me in the Discord. Let me check the other tab. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Good luck on the race, boys.
Thanks. Good luck too.
Alright, we got that rolling. Thankfully, it hasn't been too long. Someone mentioned that that's not really visible, so we'll keep that there just for self. Also, might have bigger monitors. Leave that back again. So this is our rookie race. Pulling up right now the timings. Looks like Wibba has fast on time with a 1:46. That is the true fastest from him. So we got a few battles, I believe, shaping up here in today's race. Let's see. So Christian did take a big gap over Chris C on the last race. Looks like he still has the Blazek nipping at his heels. And then Wibba and JT Ped still very much in the fight. Exeter not out of the question, so that'll be what you're watching today. Patchy and Mogo very close together, battling it out over in the pro class. We still have that massive tie for 5th place now over an expert, so we'll see what comes from that. No AI broadcast today, so we will be just checking in where we can. trying to make sure that all the new people make their way in there. All right, should be good there. Let's take a look. So I haven't really fully even peeked at this track. It's been a while since I've done Donington myself. Let's take a second here, see what we've got going on. So I'm not as familiar with everybody's liveries, so this will be Marin C there. Webba behind him. Okay, that's an easy one to remember. So definitely a nice, windy, long road ahead for these guys. I'm just checking out the entirety of the track.
RP, app
Looks
not
like
active.
a good run. Let's take a look at that hairpin that they'll be going on to rather than the turnoff. That is a nice, unforgiving hairpin with a lot of grass into the gravel there. Very wide, though, so they'll have a lot of space to get around that together and hopefully cleanly. And it does turn into a bit of a double hairpin situation leading into the final straightaway. So final passing opportunities created for sure. Hopefully we'll see some people capitalizing on that. Let the auto camp pick back up for a minute here. We've got 8 racers currently over in the pro event, and we've got 10 in the rookie. Seems like everybody wants to be in the limelight more than they want to race. I will send one more thing because all right. God knows how many times I said that in the last 10 minutes, but hopefully that solves it. So looking like a pretty big spread again. Wibba leading the pack. Kimi Räikkönen just coming in from the pro race last week. So we'll be seeing him on the field once more. I believe we were supposed to have a newcomer in this race as well. I know there's one trying to join in on the expert side of things. That sound is the sound of a bomb-ass milkshake. I gotta go yell at my dog. What bugs worked out? All the bugs worked out. That's all that matters. I'm chalking it up to a win. I know this is a bit of a quieter practice, but waiting for the boys to join the voice chat. I know we got Timmy in here on mute. We got Marin C is usually in, but never actually speaks too much. Man, a few words. Foreman, a few words. Racer, a few words. That's right. There's no men or women on the track, only racists. No, not that kind of racist. Like race enthusiasts. But like it's racist for short. We probably could have found a better abbreviation. I'll give you that. Oh, I'm guessing getting Discord boop boops. Hopefully they're good boop boops. Could be bad boop boops. Wes, you're killing me. That one's in the details. It's very cap sensitive. Got you. Alright. I get out there and cause some havoc. Don't crash into anybody, but like shake up the points a little bit. That's what we like to hear. I don't even remember what car you're in. I think you're in the Ferrari car, so there you go. I'll be good. Alright, we got a good spread on the track here. Let's have some fun. Take a quick little announcer lap. I hear the guy. Oh, there it is. Oop. Where is it? There you go. Alright, Let's see what these guys are up against. No better way to watch practice than right alongside them. Oh, off of the first corner. Forgot fix that little. Alright, now I'm messing everything up. Hang on here. Got the whole thing. All of it. Alright. Let's go check out the grid. Try that again. Is that better, project? Cat's got some grip, man. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, finally lost it. Let's get out of the way. We gotta finish, obviously.
Bird going at Mach speed on the track. What was that?
RP, app not active.
That would be the broadcaster
RP,
cam.
app not active.
Take a little lap, see what you guys are up against. It's got some technical bits, some good passing opportunities, nice and wide for these cars. I have to add some broadcast to it, that way it's not just for fun, it's for commentary. Alright, and we'll safely return this thing to the pits where it belongs. That was a good lap. I don't want to brag. Well, let's see. See the sector times. Tells all. Okay, not great sector times, but still. That's all that matters. Cat was cooking. Yeah. Cat goes hard. Cat's got some speed to it there. Don't be fooled by the standings. Still only 11 racers on the track. Nothing too crazy. We do have 12 over on the pro side of things. So again, we'll keep checking in with them wherever we can. I wonder, let's see if we do that. Which one it's grabbing? I think it's grabbing what I want it to. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, there you go. It's a little cut off. Oh, because it's already, I think, trimmed. You guys are watching me figure this out in real time. Okay, getting better. Getting better. We gonna figure this out together. Let's see. Take like, oh shit. Alright, I'm giving up. I tried. You guys just have to take my word for it. It's not laziness, it's efficiency. Tommy Boy's spinning off into the wall. I honestly think we're going to get some good racing out of this. So we do see the gap to Wibba starting to close a little bit, but in that process, we've got a nice grouping there, and it seems like it'll be the battle for P2, because still almost a second between them. And then a nice grouping there in what looks like it'll be a battle for P6. Still waiting for Brian and Brennan Diaz to put a lap down. So certainly a lot of potential here. Trying to see if anybody has a sneaky hot lap that they set during the practice, but just dying a little bit. I am not seeing anything there. Should be all caught up. Ooh, and a little spin there by JT Pez in practice. So he's currently in that battle for P1. Not very far off, I want to say. Or it might have been for P2. No, he's still very close on the heels of Wibba. So 2 good races from him here could certainly make something happen. That's for sure. All right, we're going to mute ourselves to them. I know they're being polite and not talking, but we're going to let them focus up. Over in the other chat, looks like we got a lot of life, so some new racers over there too. This will be an interesting one. Normally there's a little bit of background noise to fall back on to get some insight to what these drivers are thinking, but it's going to be a quiet grid for now. I could stir up a little bit of trouble here. And we'll send that. See if that alerts anybody in. So a lot of the guys in this grouping did not join in time to submit their own liveries. So a few are homages, we'll say, to their creators in other seasons, or might even just be using other liveries. However, Christian Crafton is one. He did make this one for this season. Same with Chris C. and JT Pez as well. I think Wibba may have made the Shark for this season. I don't remember. But certainly a lot going on. Sounds like the bait is starting to work. Let's see who we got looped in here. It's going to be a few. Well, it's about time, boys. I was wondering.
Yeah, I heard the complaints on the stream.
What, how's everybody feeling?
Feeling like turn one's brutal.
Aren't you glad I didn't make this a 40-minute race? This was a candidate for 45er.
Oh yeah, I am thankful.
Or I was also thinking season finale, the full hour. But I figured this one looked like it would be a bit of a pain.
Is this going to be 2 races or 1?
Two 20-minute races.
Silverstone's iconic though.
Yeah, that's why I felt like we had to end it big there, you know. I did think about the fact that Silverstone was this weekend. I took that into account, but I was like, no, like we got to end big. Damn, Brendan Diaz's livery is like something out of an acid trip. That thing is crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the best this season for sure.
By the way, the pro class always asks me, but the reason why we have the broadcaster car that you have to download is because it forces everyone to download the livery pack too. it was a sneaky move there to make sure you all got to see each other's liveries and stuff that you guys worked hard on.
What physics does that thing use?
The cat,
Yeah,
F2004.
that's what I thought it sounded like, but
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
for sure.
that's why it's called the D2004, I think, in the files or whatever.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yep. It's a vehicle, and I think the hitbox is actually like the cat too. Like I was messing with it, weaving between a few of you guys. I don't know who I eventually love tapped, but somebody.
Has there ever been a race in just the Dingus?
Yeah, it was for April Fools. Yeah, it was for April Fools this year. What did I do last year? I can't remember what we did last year. And then on Christmas, we swapped the MX5s out with Santa's sleigh. That was a fun one too. We do a couple unexpected stuff. We're getting close to the end of the calendar though, so I gotta put that up.
Ostrich is here?
Yeah.
Ostrich, there we
Been a
go.
while.
Where are you at? Oh yeah, after today, the results are gonna have a column for potential drops. Like, so it'll show what the point standings are with current drops factored in.
We got a setup for the Donington.
Max fuel, max tire pressure, max roll bars. Pretty much just max everything, you know, take it to the max.
Take to the
Typical.
max.
The
Shared
only
my
one
setup
set
for
to
you.
change has no changes from the default.
That's actually really funny.
You shared the setup for the
What tracks do you already have setups for? Read them out.
Dingus. Let's see. I got everything out to the MX5. I got Coda, Hungaroring, Auto Club, Nikki, Bridgehampton, Sebring, Donington. Oh, Donington 2018.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Just the other Donington.
Let's see. From Hunter or Sam GT3, who should I trust? I'll trust Sam.
Yeah, I think I still use a few of Sam's setups. Although, actually, I think I use one of Hunter's too. So, right in between.
So, Bug, I'm sure it's jumping the gun, but do results this season affect next season's groupings or what?
To an extent, like it's not like a guarantee you'll be moved up or moved down one way or the other. It all depends on who ends up signing up and things, and what happens in the off season too. We've had people get improved, like and moved up during that time.
I think I speak for everybody that says get Wibba the hell out of here so we can win.
Yeah, there's a chance of that. Although JT's right on the tail there.
No, I'm slow.
You're not too far off.
I was with him one race a couple weeks ago, but I just can't finish.
You'll see. It's there's a lot of passing opportunities on this one, and it's a wide track. You just got to stay in the draft. That's it. Like the three of you guys who are in the 47s, you got to just focus on working together to catch Wibba. Because you're all in the amateur class. Kimmy will be in there with you, I think.
I think the issue is being consistent with that timing lap after lap. That's my issue.
Let's just kill Wibba. Easy enough.
Little
Hopefully
bump
that's a-
drafting here or there, you'll be alright.
Take
Just
him out
send
for
it
a
He'll be
to
lap.
there
turn
before
one.
race start. Smiley face.
Remember, guys, the race is won in turn 1.
That's how the pros do it.
When in doubt, just
Hey,
full
man.
send, don't break,
If-
it'll be
If
okay.
it's good for Lance Stroll, it's good for me. That guy is a professional. Totally unrelated to racing, does anybody know how the Jägermeister car got a sticker on the dashboard?
No. I don't know it did. That's very cool.
I think it'd be neat for next season to have the numbers for the 2 cars that I'm gonna upload.
I feel like maybe if you look in the skin files, it has like a different texture file.
That's a good point.
Because I do see people have the roll bars and all that stuff like.
Yeah, if you mess around with the content manager showroom, you can
Mhm.
get the AO files for literally any part in the car. The
Yeah.
rims, the roll bar, anything. So I'm sure you could probably do the same with the dash.
Yeah, so if you can find the right file.
Yeah, I figured out how to change the roll bar for the 2 next season, but the dash was just crazy.
Don't forget to change your pit crew.
RP. App not active.
That's
Erase
my
start.
favorite thing that no one
Smiley
ever
face.
does.
I
do
can't
it
figure out the text
sometimes.
file.
It's
It's the
It-
JSON file in the skins folder.
it's the one that just says Mazda a bunch of times, like in just like 3 different directions. Let's see. Does anybody have custom pit crews?
I don't think I have one on this skin, but I've done it before.
Oh, you know what? The pits are gonna be different though, because this one is like broken. Because it adds extra pit spots and everything.
Problem for next season, I really love 3 liveries that I've made. It's
Uh-huh.
just a matter of picking which one I actually want to run.
You gotta just pick 2 teammates to donate the other 2, so you can still see all 3 of them in the track.
Well, D Blazek's running one of them that I made.
Nice.
Yep.
It's just, do I want to rep where I work, or do I want to rep Skyline Chili?
What was the second option?
Skyline Chili, Cincinnati Delicacy.
That's a tough choice. Where do you work?
Bosch.
I feel like personally I'd have to go Skyline Chili, but
Skyline Chili, the cinnamon roll thing? Or is it just a restaurant? And
It does have cinnamon in it, but
but it don't roll.
It'll make you roll to the bathroom if you're not ready for it.
This is true.
damn it.
To be fair, Wibba is only beating 4 of the people in the pro class. and 2 of them just joined in like in the last couple laps.
No,
And
just
some of you
that's
guys are
now.
beating a few of them too, because they got 48s right now.
It's nice having somebody to chase.
Yeah. Last race of the season, I'll just like shock everybody, move them up, change all the points around to reflect it.
Throw us rookies in the pro division.
What's the closest class right now? I haven't looked.
I think you guys looking. Yeah, you guys are 4 points apart, and Mogo and Patchy are 5 points apart. But the expert class has 1, 2, 3, 4 racers like neck and neck for 6th place. It's kind of funny. Like dead on each other's points.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, all of a sudden the Donington race in the MX5s that we did is all flooding back to me. We did the 2018 one in a season race, I think, before, like one of the first 2 seasons. I used to race the first 5 of the season and then just broadcast the last 2 back in the day.
RP, app not active, race start, smiley face.
Brian looking good. Brian's livery locket was from the first ever MX5 winner we had, actually, before we did rankings, I'm pretty sure. Or no, we ended up doing rankings like halfway through the season. But yeah, he was the expert winner. Him and I Am a J battled it out constantly. Jay has come in like 2nd and 3rd, I think, every season we've done. He's due. He's not far off right now. It's just that oh yeah, and Banana like really dominated the first 3 races of the season. It might even been the first 4.
So yeah, looking at points standing, it looks like yeah is dominating the expert, but
Well, yeah, but Sir Bananas was not there last week.
okay.
But currently, it looks like OEA's dropped races are going to be a P2 and a P. Was that 4? Yeah, P4. Which is not shabby at all.
Consistency.
All the other ones are wins. Damn.
Wait, so we're racing twice?
Yeah. But you'll have chance to like fuel again and all that stuff in between.
Okay.
Chris and Christian, I'm expecting to see back together at the end of this one. I don't. Did one of them miss a race? Did Chris miss a race?
I think Chris missed last week. That's probably the only reason why I'm ahead of him on the board right now.
I see. Oh, you know something really funny? One of the people in the pro race is new to the server. So they just got their first ever minute of heavy fog in an actual event.
Are they from like the Techly service? I know they jumped straight into pro.
No, they joined the server, put a bunch of practice laps up. That's where their times were falling pretty
Okay.
consistently.
We could be at like Mid Ohio, a track that I know super well, and when the fog rolls in, all of a sudden I don't know anything.
Yeah, that's honestly that's kind of the point of the fog. Is like if you're really forcing yourself to lap for a while, you'll lose track of where you're actually pushing and where you're not. And that fog, like, not only does it show you which corners you don't know as well as you thought, but it kind of makes you take a break from just hot lapping. Even if you vote to reset, like, you still are taking a little break mentally. So that's kind of why I always leave it in. Don't let you guys grind too hard. Week 6. Godspeed, boys.
We're gonna need it.
Alright, so we muted ourselves on them. That
At least
way
I am.
we can free chat during the qual here a little bit. Finish up my damn milkshake. I should not have gotten the cookie dough one, I will say. Give me 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. But yeah, we're off to a strong start. Looks like that outlap cost him only about 5 seconds, so wow, that's going to put him right back into the 7s, I think, by the pace he's going right now. I think he was first one on the track,
Hey,
so he's
can you
doing all
right
this
here?
without a draft. So definitely some strong pace. Sounds like Kimmy just let somebody through, so we got someone pushing hard as well. Wibba now safely 5 seconds on this time. It's going to be a pretty strong lap. I think we're going to see that 46. Maybe just shy. Nope, we are. Yep, 46.3. So he's actually improved Gone from the 46.6 down to the 46.3, so 0.3 off. Track is a little warmer. They got a little bit more wind, but that wind's not really helping them anywhere. It's honestly, I can't see anywhere on the track where I'd consider it too much of an advantage. So not too much going
RP,
on with that.
not
It'll
actively race start,
probably be a little
smiley
bit
face.
warmer tires. See the field bearing down, peaking now with Marin C looking for his chance through. He's got Brennan Diaz bearing down behind him and Wibba peeking around the corner. Going through Starkey's now. Wow, Wibba taking that with some speed. Schwantz curve. Well, it's Schwantz to McLean's because, you got to know which way the Schwantz leans as these guys are keeping the pace with each other, so no one's holding each other off. You got Coppice right after. They're in Starkey Straight now, so see if maybe Brennan can pick up a little bit of draft here. I'm not sure how far apart these guys are, but if it's close enough through Fogarty's, Brennan could be setting a little bit better time than he intends to. Not a problem for him. I know we have typically done some interviews and stuff in the past, but this far in, I just want to let these guys focus on their races. There's a lot of battling happening, a lot of battles happening throughout the points. After today, we're going to get drops uploaded so people can see what next week's really has on the line. So should be exciting. We will be covering the pro race there. Unfortunately, we will not have a broadcast for the finale of the rookie race at this time. We'll see if we can maybe find some way to make it happen, but no promises as of yet. See maybe about our old pal Slay, if he's out there somehow watching. We'll reach out to him also and not just leave it in the blind hands of the stream. Ooh, wide line there from Exeter. He currently sits P2, a 148.2, so nobody breaking into the 147s just yet. Only 8 minutes left, so definitely a few more laps to do something with. Got a couple guys going across the line now. I think that was Chris C and Christian Crafton going. Be JT Peds behind them. Moving up into the 148 squad, but again, these guys have a full second they need to find. Marin's on some good pace here, but still needs to find 2 more tenths in these final few turns. Finds a lot for a moment through the first hairpin. And as he re-enters through Goddard's, the final straightaway, he actually finds himself a little far down on his time. So lost time heading back into the Wheatcroft. He's going to improve a little bit, but not enough to hit the 47. So let's take a break from the auto cam here. Let's take over to Exeter. So he's not looking like he'll have the opportunity on this lap. JT Peds will not either. Oh, I was just going to say, I wonder if Kimmy can do it, but Kimmy ends up going 147.7, so he'll be the first one to start creeping towards Wibba up front, but it is looking like he might have a little bit of a free range there. Ostrich crosses the line with a 149. Let's take a look over at Marin C. Not going to be setting a good time there. These guys certainly struggling to get some clean laps in. Let's stick with Exeter. He's going to be going on to a fresh one here. Has a little bit of traffic in front of him to work through. That will be Brian. Not sure. I think Brian is, I was going to say, a little far off to be defending. So doesn't seem to be costing Exeter any time just yet. But Exeter will need to get through. And he looks to the inside for the chance. Hopefully Brian gives it to him. This is qualifying. Brian sitting with a 2:14 is also looking to set his own time. Is he on a high lap? He is, so that's going to be why he's pushing. Exeter, though, going to try and move through, get some clean air for the next lap. Stick with him for a moment and see if he's able to do so. Okay, they are. It looks like Brian backs off a little bit. Does he end up losing on his time? He's still pretty far up on his delta, so you might see a new time from him. Kimi Räikkönen not up on his delta on this one. Looks like Mercy has a little bit of a chance right off the bat there, so he's sticking on pace through turn 1. So we'll hang out with him through Craner as he's got a few guys building up behind him. You can see Brennan Diaz, and then I believe, again, that's Wibba. It is. So Wibba actually creeping closer and closer to him. These guys are losing fuel, so that should help them drop a little bit of time as well, depending on how much they are losing. But I think they've stayed out the whole time. So you can join through our Discord. I think the link, actually, we changed it. So let me get the link real quick. Post it in the chat. The season is almost over, so you're pretty much going to have to wait for the next season at this point. But, yeah, this is some pretty low stakes stuff there. We try and keep it relatively simple. So during the seasons, it gets a little bit more serious, but we split the pros and experts, and then on the other hand, we have the rookies and amateurs. That's what you're watching right now. This is the rookies and amateurs. And then if we don't have it, then they'll all be on the same grid, so we'll have all the classes racing together, but points still get separated. And we do have like a way to report incidents, but nobody really gets penalized. It's more about, you'll get reached out to if you've caused an incident for a coaching opportunity. So someone will try and work with you on how to avoid that in the future, what went wrong, that kind of things. But it's all about just improving and getting cleaner racing. And then once you feel like you need that level of cleaner racing and tighter racing, and you want to avoid the chaos, we do have sister servers that we send people to, Techly and Venus. Techly is our direct sister server, so that's run by the same guy who hosts our servers and stuff, Josh. And then Venus is that they kind of helped us out from the beginning. They're a cool partner that we do some work with every here and then, mostly on like endurance stuff. And then I think they're pretty involved in the Techly side of things. Yeah, we have a lot going on here. It's been a good year and a half so far. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, you're not doing it at the worst time. There's literally only one more week left of the season, and then it goes to open racing for a bit, and then signups for the new one. Actually going to start working on that calendar a little bit more tonight. All right, so we are seeing another 147, this time out of Exeter. Marency still looking for it. Webba has a little accident behind him, so that should give him some confidence to at least try and make that move. We've got Brennan Diaz looking like he wants an opportunity to move in. I thought we saw JT Peds in the 47s earlier. He is going to make it around with enough time to get an outlap through. Brian moving aside to let him go. We're going to stick with him and see if maybe he can make something happen. Although I think Marin C was also still trying. Well, there you go. That answers the question there. He is going up in his delta. Yes, Woke, this is a Assetto Corsa.
How much fuel are you guys thinking?
And the age-old fuel debate, of course, starting there.
Probably about
Typically
20.
with these guys, I was going to say it ends up being around 20, 22 liters
Cool, thank you.
for these 20-minute races. And then the 45s, it just depends on how much I've changed the settings for fuel usage and things. So we'll see. I think if I haven't done it already, we are definitely going to have enough that they'll need a pit stop for the grand finale next week. Assuming that's all set up the way I'm remembering it, which could not be. It's very possible. Over on the pro expert side of things, we do have Scent sitting 0.4 seconds up on Oh Yeah. So not a huge help to Scent's overall standings, although it will break him free of that pack we've been talking about for 6th place. We'll probably move him up even a 4th with a strong finish here. But the big thing is it will give Oh Yeah another drop or another race to be dropped. So that could get interesting. And it looks like he'll at least take away that opportunity for fastest lap time if he can recreate that. Whenever the events are not taking place, we have practice servers, but we have 6 servers. So we've got the MX5 server, we have the looping 24/7 race server that currently this race is on, and then it'll go back to 24/7 after. Then we have the community vote server, which we do this same time on Wednesdays. We don't have an EU version of that one. Then we've got the GT3 servers, which are the events for Fridays. We've got the time trial servers, which are monthly. We change those out. And then we have the World Tour server, which is the new one. So that's Saturday events. They're around noon EST. Enough stuff to keep us busy, that is for sure.
Good luck today, boys.
Yep. Good luck, everyone.
I have faith that we're all gonna make it through the first lap this time again.
No restarts this week. Got this.
Are rookies only on MX5 racing? No. So we actually have
Respect to
rookie.
the donuts and pit there.
We have rookies racing for all of. So seasons they get classed out. So during the seasons, that's when we've got rookies, amateurs, pros, and experts. And then during open events, we just let it go. So everyone races together and stuff. But we let everybody on the track. There's no rankings for the open events. They truly are open to anybody in the community. All you need is the password from the Discord and usually a car for Wednesday and Saturday events, and usually a track for most of our events, because the Kunos ones don't really have the grid sizes we need. Well, looks like we're getting ready for the big race here. Everybody's sitting in pits. I don't see the wait timer going off just yet, so I'm going to sneak over. Have a little glass of water real quick. All right, so the weight countdown is just about over. How's that for timing? That ain't too shabby. Let's take a peek. So we'll move this one back to the grid here. I'll take a little peek at what we've got going on. So we've got Wibba up front, followed by Exeter, Kimmy, Brendan Diaz. Interestingly split up there. JT Peds, D Blazek, I think this is Christian Grafton, then Ostrich, then Chris C, Elvis, and Brian up in the rear.
As said before, everyone, best of luck.
No brakes? No brakes.
Hopefully some breaks, although turn 1 isn't too bad and it is nice and wide, so maybe we won't see too much chaos, but week 6, away we go. And a nice start here by Wibba getting out front early. Exeter able to keep up with him. We got a little bit of wiggling going on in the back there. We'll see if we get some chaos in turn 1. Looks like some bumps already. Ooh, and Blazek gets caught up in the chaos more so than the rest. Looks like we've already got it split up into 2 groups there. So Brendan Diaz leading pack number 2. Wibba leading pack number 1, already starting to put a little bit of a gap between him and Exeter behind. Currently only Christian Crafton sitting within a drafting range of the man in front. So Exeter starts to move up very close.
We're started.
I'm still sitting in the pits.
It sounds like we've got a racer sitting in the pits there, or something.
No, I was always sitting in the pits, never was lined up to start. It's still showing cold, and now we refresh it saying the race, but I'm in the pit still. That's odd. It's more like it's not on this one.
Hopefully he drives out. Marin, if you want, just rejoin the pack and we'll see what we can do about points afterwards. Hopefully he's able to keep driving, but
Straight out, I can't start.
I would just leave and come back just in case, because you don't want it messed up for race 2 regardless.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so back to the action here. We've got Wibba leading the grid. So let's see, we are halfway through lap number 2 now. Let's take a brief pause and see as they come by. Kimi Räikkönen actually fighting off JT Pitts pretty strong.
RP,
We've got, as predicted, a pretty decent grouping for P2, but what we didn't expect for P5, we've got a tight grouping here. Chris C, Christian Crafton, and Brendan Diaz all together. Could be because, oh, that's right, Marin C was not able to exit with the main group, so we'll see where he ends up. Hopefully he can at least take a lap time away or something from this. Obviously he'll be getting points just for being here, but at this late in the season, obviously that could still hurt. JT Peds in fourth now, slowly dropping away from the guys up front. Kimmy doing a good job of putting the pressure on Exeter ahead of him. They got to focus on working together, though. Ooh, and Kimmy takes it into the grass, so that'll spread this grouping up a little bit further. We'll check in on the pack behind as we watch the leaders head off into turn 1. Through Wheatcoff Straight, we still have Chris C, trying to hold off Brennan Diaz and Christian Crafton behind him. I think the two CCs know each other relatively. Not sure to what extent, but they certainly practice together, which I get a good kick out of. I did forget to update you guys. 25-degree track temps, so they've gone down a little bit. We're not going to see those high lap times we did, at least right off the bat. Hopefully later on, once things are warmed up. We do have 16 kilometer an hour wind, so that'll be some good pressure. Ooh, as we look away, we see Brennan Diaz starting to put the pressure on Chris C in front. I wonder if that was just a stronger exit into that straight. Christian really putting everything he can into getting back up and joining into the fun. Hopefully a little battle between these guys will give him an opportunity. Already certainly looks like it is, as he gets closer and closer, finding himself within the drafting range, but so has Brennan Diaz in front. We'll see him try for a move up the inside. He's thinking about it, but he slots back in at the last second. Doesn't want to take any chances just yet. 15 minutes left. I'm sure he's got plenty of time to think about it. Might go for a late break here. Actually just defends the inside from the man behind, so sees his chance and it manages to get through. So he pulls by Chris C. Could be Crafton. As we see going through Goddard's, Brendan starting to pull away a little bit more. That was a beautiful move there to take both. Oh, and he spins off. Broadcaster's curse kicking in, giving the CCs a chance to battle it out for P5 on their own. They have been in quite the battle recently. We'll now take a peek back over to Brennan Diaz, now getting passed by Ostrich, who came into the straight with a lot more speed. So he's coming from the back of the pack here. Still in the top 10 technically. That's all you really need for a little bit of hope. And we'll see how that hope translates over the course of the next few laps. Going back to the top of the grid, Wibba, the 48 car, lapping in peace through Coppice. We see he probably can still see the grid in his mirror, so he's not fully comfortable just yet, as they might be little specks, but they are still there. So one good mistake, and they're right back in it. Brennan Diaz actually going for a move, it seems, on Ostrich, going through the Schwanz into McLean. He had to pull off a little bit. Will he be able to pull another move through Coppice? I think this is, no, it was, I believe, through the hairpin last time. So he might be keeping that in the back of his head, trying to get close enough for that opportunity. Starting to fall back a little bit, though, so he'll have to take a very clean line right here through Fogarty, which he does. A beautiful acceleration, starting to move closer and closer to Ostrich. Ostrich, though, sees that inside line move coming. Brendan's going to loop out wide and hopefully go for the switchback opportunity, I think. Takes it fully around the outside, but does manage to keep moving closer and closer to Ostrich. We'll see who can get the inside line. Ostrich is lined up a little bit earlier, so he'll get there first. But Brennan not backing off the pressure just yet. Not even going to go for the drafting opportunity, it seems. But Ostrich would actually slot in front and pull him along with him, giving Brennan a chance to take the dive through Redgate, which he does. Can he pull it off? Ostrich ends up going a little bit wide, I think, giving space to Brennan and losing track of where he was. Does avoid a collision, but loses the position. So that will give him a little bit more comfort as they head it through the old hairpin. Oh, I stand corrected. Ostrich, right as we were looking to switch over, is going to put the pressure right back on. So 11 minutes remaining. They've got the 26 hunting down the number 8 car. Ooh, and Ostrich with a little runner with the grass, and that should be the end of the battle for now. Does not mean it will be the end of the battle for the race. We are going to glance over, though. Exeter in P2 has been holding on since the beginning of lap 1. doing exceptionally well. We've got Kimi Räikkönen right behind him at 1.5 seconds, or at least nipping at 1.5 seconds. So he has actually improved. And judging by their last lap, he actually improved another 0.3. So we'll see if he's able to close that gap over the next 10 minutes. This is going to be where consistency starts to play a role. And Kimi, struggling in the background there, manages to still actually hold on somewhat. Ostrich finding the move out of the hairpin. So same place where Brennan found his luck with the CCs as he got through both of them in one turn. He gets overtaken by the Caillou Mobile, number 26, driven by Ostrich. So 3 seconds to make up now. Hopefully he can. He's actually got 10 minutes left, and he's got quite good pace, or he has in the past. So hopefully he can make something happen. We did see Blazek recovering now from a brush up with the grass heading into Canter curves. It's got Ostrich breathing down his neck. We'll see if the Waffle House is strong enough to hold him off. A little bit of a lag spike back there with Brendan Diaz as we see his car float into the abyss, but it's back now. Things look stable once again. The CC packages are getting closer and closer together. We'll have to see if they go for something anytime soon. Keeping an eye on both gaps right now. So we've been watching this one for a minute. Blazek trying his best to hold off Ostrich and doing a good job at that. Chris in the 35 car working to hold off the arsenal of Christian Crafton behind him. And ooh, Christian gets in nice and close in the hairpin, but actually loses a bit of time through the exit. So that won't be his opportunity. Blazek, though, fighting off the 26 car harder than before. Ostrich putting a lot of pressure on heading into the S's. He'll have to make a decision here. Or sorry, they're post after the S's. Got lost there. So through Melbourne, Ostrich finds another position. So moving his way up the board now. Now in P8, only 2 seconds separating him and Elvis in front. A little brush up with the brakes there. It does cost him some time, but 20 seconds is a long way to go to the CCs ahead of him. And I think JT Peds is the next member of Ostrich's class. So definitely a long way to go. Only 8 minutes remaining. Can't really afford moves like that. He's going to have to stay on the gas and pull some quick laps out over the short remainder of race 1 here. Marin C's actually made some good progress, starting to catch up to Brian ahead in the Lockett 55 car. We will glance over in just a moment. Ooh, but we're trying to see if Blazek is going to make this move. He's definitely thinking about it. Ooh, but with a spin through Coppice, he finds himself falling short. Diaz is going to fly through and barely get by. Quick reaction time, I think, on that one. Let's take a peek over at Brian, though. Actually, not too much damage on the car, which means he's lapping clean. He's just probably having a little bit of a rough go. I think his best lap time, I think that's 155. So not too shabby. Definitely getting a little bit faster on this one here. I think you can start to feel the heat of Marin behind him. Does not want to get caught up to by the number 97. And with 6 minutes or a little more, less than 7 minutes remaining, he's definitely got a chance to hold him off. It's a decent gap there. But hate to break through. But Ostrich now finding another spot, this time on Elvis. Do see the CC battle going on ahead, but can Ostrich complete the move? He does, as Elvis anticipates a cut inside, but it does not come. He gives up the position with a run-in with the grass. Now looking at the battle between the two green machines, heading through McLean's. I know there's some British people hating me for not saying McLean's, and I am sorry, but it just works out better. Going through Compass, Chris C regains his spot ahead in a P5, but it is not a comfortable one. Christian Crafton still within a second. One good move through the S's, and he could catch a little bit of a draft, try and make his move into the hairpin. We do see Kimi Räikkönen now still within that 2-second range of Exeter in front. Exeter having found 2 seconds, though, on Wibba. At one point was 7 seconds away. So Wibba might be playing it a little bit safer now, or Exeter might be finding a little bit more within. Brennan Diaz, though, looking for an opportunity, which he finds into the S's. There's a neat little line we caught the end of there. I wish we caught the full move, but does manage to make his way through. Ooh, and Elvis tries to dive in and get the spot back. It's not going to be enough. He actually finds himself losing another spot, this time to Blazek ahead. And with 5 minutes remaining, those guys have a long way to climb. Christian Crafton, on the other hand, still within a second of the man in front, the 35 car of Chris C. At this point, he's really got to just focus on his own lap. Don't worry about the man in front until you're literally on his bumper. You guys have too similar of a line. As you can see now, starting to pull himself within the drafting range. He's got to be patient in this next section. It's not long enough to really make the most out of a move. He's got to just tee himself up for the next half. And that he does. So he's within drafting range. Doesn't want to take it, though. Goes straight for the outside. I think Chris C actually might even be trying to help him along, or maybe even try and pull the bump draft if he can. Christian letting up a little bit to avoid contact into the S's. A quick brush up with the sand himself. Kimi Räikkönen, though, within striking distance of Exeter in front. So Exeter seems to have had a 149, so a little bit of a rougher lap for him as Kimi finds the pace with a 147. JT Pet's behind them with a 148, so he's starting to creep up, but not going to be enough time for him to close the gap. That is going to mean that Ostrich, no matter how fortunate his luck, will not be able to catch another one within his ranking for this race. Does put him in a good spot for the second one, though, as I think that he might be actually, him and Marin C will be leading off the grid, if I understand correctly. Marin C now lapping Brian ahead of him. Sorry, unlapping himself from Brian ahead. So he is starting to climb back as he works his way towards Elvis. Not as far back as the live timings may show. And we are sticking with Kimi and Exeter, but it really looks like Kimi's got this one in the bag. As we do that, we miss Christian pulling a move on Chris C finally, this time through Compass. And Chris C has a dangerous run up with the curve, manages to save it and get back on the track, but it costs him significant amount of time there. Now 2 seconds away from Christian in front. Brendan now fending off Blazek, only 0.6 behind and climbing. 2 minutes left, so these guys are going to have 2 more laps as your leader, Wibba, has just crossed the line. And he certainly has the pace to turn this one a little bit longer. Exeter, seeing that, now moves to within a second of Kimi Räikkönen up front there in the battle for P2. Fresh on his tail, actually. So he's going to pull a draft through quite a long section here. We're definitely going to see a move at some point. The only question is when. Exeter taking his time and braking early, trying to force Kimi to make the move by pushing him into the corners. welcome to sim racing, where you've got the Krusty Krab mobile chasing down the Harbor Freight Icon Racer. But that is the circumstances here as we head down Starkey Strait for the second to last time. Exeter still nipping at the heels. This is going to be, I think, the big battle. Everybody's starting to get a little bit further away from the man behind them. Well, Blazek's on a little bit of a mission now, starting to close the gap on Ostrich in front, so we'll try and keep our eye on that as well. Exeter, late on the brakes there, does close a little bit of time for a moment, but does himself no favors as he goes right back to the 0.5. These guys are staying on each other's pace. Blazek now well within striking distance. Could see that opportunity sooner rather than later, but same situation here. Doing our best to shine the love where we can. We actually have Brian that we are coming up on. We'll see if he can make his way into the equation here. On the final lap, Exeter creeping closer and closer again. Still within the draft range, but this is going to be a tight opportunity. And again, a little early on the brakes to give Kimmy the space. Kimmy, though, not making a mistake, staying on the gas. Exeter found a little bit of a better line, though. That's going to give him the acceleration. He'll have a chance here through the Schwans. And in McLean's, he keeps it clean, but can't hold the nose out front. So he'll have to find one more chance. We got a few battles teeing up now. We got the CCs and we got Ostrich and Blazek. We'll try and bounce between them where we can. Wibba is definitely going crazy as he is now 7 seconds ahead. Ooh, and Exeter looking for a way by, but just can't find one. Thankfully, a lot of space separating the two battles going on. Hopefully they're nice and patient for us and don't make their moves just yet, but Exeter goes for one here. Cuts to the inside. They'll be side by side for a moment, but Kimmy will have the speed to pull ahead. It'll all come down to the final turn. What will Exeter do? He's got one chance. He goes for a relatively late dive, follows Kimmy through, but that's not going to be enough. So we'll watch Kimmy win the battle right at the end there. Takes P2, and we've got Exeter sitting in P3 right behind him within a second. Beautiful race right to the end by both of them. Chris C, though, seems to have regained his position from Christian Crafton at some point. Christian is going to look for one more opportunity here into the final corner and finds himself spun. So that will lock that battle up for P5 and P6. Ostrich and Blazek will be the final ones fighting head-to-head till the end. And it looks like it'll be a good one. But Ostrich now finds himself over a second in front. It would take quite some pace there, which I don't think he's going to find. He does not. As those guys 0.6 seconds apart to finish the race. That is pretty good. Brennan Diaz now crossing the line. P9. Elvis, you can hear coming around the grid. That's actually going to be Marin C hauling with some pace. I'm finishing P12, but again, there was a little technical difficulty there as to how that one wrapped up. And the finish line, I believe, is actually down there. It is, and Elvis finishes P10. Well, that's the way to end a race. We had a little bit of a quiet middle of the race there. Some battles to and fro, but nothing quite like the end of the race as we pan into the Miata Cult Classic. This is kind of the ritual at the end of most of these races. So direct drive wheels, we always recommend either go to pits or hands off the wheel. Things get crazy. just to report over on the pro race, Sent did manage to take the lead on Oh Yeah, so he secures that victory. I Am a J right behind him though, so that will be some heavy points, followed by so Sent, then Oh Yeah, I Am J, followed by Tommy Boy, Dan, Patchy, representing across the pond. K West, the new man in town, coming up P7 for his debut, so not a bad finish at all. He's actually in the class with Patchy. I don't know about Dan, so that might be a P2 for him, but a podium either way in his class, so excellent showing. FIFO, Botlando, Seb, Dave Bob, Zach D, Woohoo, and Mogo did end up pitting. It looks like with either 2 laps left or he joined in to the race 2 laps in. But either way, it seems there might have been some issues there. Relatively great racing though overall, it seems, in both classes. So that is week 6.5. 1 more to go, 1 minute left until the countdown. We'll see how it all shakes up. All right, 6 seconds left on the wait time there.
Good luck this time around, boys.
We've got hopefully a nice, full, clean, everybody where intended grid this time. Would be relatively nice. It looks like we do have everybody on the track there, so that will be good. So this time around, we've got Marin C, Brian, Elvis, Brendan Diaz, Blazek, Ostrich, Christian Crafton, Chris C, JT Peds, Exeter, Kimi Räikkönen, and then Wibba coming up the rear this time as we do reverse grids here in race 2. So we'll certainly take a look at that. 14 seconds left as the lights turn on. Hopefully these guys are paying attention. Let's see if we can see them in real time with them. Doesn't look like we see a change on there. Did it say Kimi Räikkönen entering the pits? I think it did. I'm not sure why. Unless we had a possible false start there. But Marin C ends up taking off, so leaving the grid behind him. Let's take a look from Brendan Diaz's perspective with Pack 2, aka the entire rest of the grid. Wibba with a little bit of contact there. And, Wibba and Brian with a little bit of contact there. Forcing Brian to spin off, unfortunately.
Smacked out in the first
Everybody else still go. Oh, was that Blazek? It was not Brian, it was Blazek. As we see Brian actually right behind Brendan here. I think Kimi ended up possibly leaving for this race. It's unclear. Ooh, a scary re-entry there from Brendan Diaz. He doesn't have the pace to move into that lane yet. He's got to just let the grid go by him. Oh, and Chris ends up slamming into him. Brandon goes ping-ponging by, contact with Christian Craft, and he's going to have Blazek coming roaring through, which he does. So he'll be heading into the Fogarty S's P11. relatively decent that it happened as early on as it did, as chaos is still evolving. You see Wiba going off there, so struggling to find some ground in the main pack, as Brian and Ostrich now in a battle of their own, and Ostrich moves by. This pack number 2 moving by pretty cleanly. We've got the CC brothers sticking together. Wiba trying to
got hit,
follow
my
that
game
train
crashed.
wherever he can.
Damn, he almost hit you really hard.
And seems like JT Pez had a little bit of contact
Do something.
and ended up disconnecting.
I'm reporting the fuck out of you,
So a lot of contact around race 2.
dude. Dude, you're such a fucking asshole, Wibba. God, he drives like a fucking asshole, man.
Guys,
Alright,
let's
just
watch it.
report
Just
it.
open tickets after. Alright, well,
I got dementia, guys. Might not be good.
God, dude, you're such a fucking prick.
yo,
Dude,
last
let it
warning.
go.
Stop or mute yourself. Either way.
Should I just keep going, even though I kind of started really late? Oh shoot, this guy from pit.
Go for it.
Yeah, just be careful rejoining. Alright, so a little bit of chaos here. Race 2 seems, as is tradition though, with some of the reverse grids. Season finale will be one singular hour-long race though, so hopefully it won't be an issue. Might be a 45-minute, can't remember, but I'm not going to change up the length of the race on these guys now. Ooh, Christian C looking for a way through though. He is following the pack pretty strong. These guys are all looking for opportunities to make it up into P3 wherever they can. There's a little bit of beef here and there. There's just a little bit. Ooh, and Brian with nice reflexes on the brake manages to let the grid go by. We'll see where he ends up though.
Down. Confirm that.
Is that JT Pez asking?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I don't get caught up in any actual racing.
Yeah, it shows you a lot down. You're good to keep going though. Just, be careful. All right. Admin duties left, right, and center, but back into it. So Wiba through Compass, trying to chase down Marin C and Ostrich in front. Doesn't have too much ground to make up to Ostrich, but Marin C is going to be the wild card here. This could be a strong victory for him if he can hang on to the pace. Let's take a look at their lap times as they'll be coming around shortly. See Christian Crafton looking for a chance on Chris C. All right, so Marin C with a 148.6 on that last lap. Let's see where Wiba ends up. He does move closer and closer to Ostrich with a 148.2. So a little bit closer, but that's a big gap. So he's got to put a little bit more pressure on, which we know he can. He was racing in the 146s during qual. And it looks like this time they do actually have a significant help from the wind, 13km/h tailwind up that whole back straight and start straight. So that will definitely be good for them. It is a little bit of a headwind through this section, but thanks to the windiness of it, it shouldn't be too bad. Ostrich, though, finds himself, after a little bit of a wiggle, getting caught by Wiba. This time makes it cleanly through as we head into McLean's. So that little wiggle by Ostrich actually is starting to get him dropped back into this short little group here. So it'll be Ostrich Exeter and Christian Crafton fighting for a podium spot at the moment. Real widespread on the rest of the grid just from various incidents, unfortunately. But it seems like everybody is still moving for the most part. 13 minutes remaining, so we will see where this one all ends up. I have a feeling the FIA will be a little busy tonight. Christian Crafton, though, looking for a nice shot through on Exeter. Almost has it. I wonder... It must just be the acceleration on that outside lane. Is Exeter able to stay ahead pretty cleanly and evenly? Wiba now starting to break away from this pack. 1.8 seconds separating him and the group. But you do see Blazek slowly working his way up behind. 2.6 seconds off this pack now. We'll see how much more he can close on that. Seems Kimi Räikkönen may have had a little bit of a spin. He's got a slow entrance into the, I want to say, S's right now. So he finds himself 2 seconds away from top 10 position. Ostrich is trying to keep the outside lane here away from Exeter if he can, but not able, or sorry, Exeter not able to find the move. Christian, though, going to be right back in this bumper. He'll be debating, trying to make something happen, probably through the hairpin. We'll see if he can get a little bit closer through the S's. It's a nice little podium battle we got here. 9 minutes in and still fighting. 26-degree track temp, so slightly warmer than last time, but still nowhere near that 30 that we saw last during, I want to say, the qual. Through the hairpin. Everybody's still holding their positions pretty strong here. Blazek finding 2/10 on these guys, might even be 3/10 by the end of the lap. So still keeping an eye on him to make this a party. Ooh, and a little bit of a wiggle there, but he's certainly closing in on them. So we've got 149, 149, and almost a 148 from Blazek. So he's definitely got the pace to catch up to these guys at some point. Get a little bit of a bigger fight going, although I don't know how many bigger fights we need. Certainly a lot of action to suffice through the first couple laps alone. We'll do a little bit of a recap lap here, starting from the top. So Marin C, 10 seconds separating him and Wiba. One big collision in the front, but then Wiba getting caught up in traffic and Marin C having the pace to fend off the group behind. So gave himself a nice cushion there. Wiba, though, is 1.6 seconds ahead of his personal best, so he's definitely looking for those 146s again. We'll see what he can make happen here. 9 minutes remain. Ostrich not going to be able to catch Wiba by the looks of things. Already 5 seconds behind him. Only, I think, 2 laps have passed since the move Wiba pulled off. So he'll have to make something happen, or at least defend this position from Exeter and Christian behind. If he's lucky, those two will focus mostly on battling each other and give him a little bit of room to breathe, which it seems might be the case. Exeter this time looking for the outside angle. Not going to be able to find it, though. Still stays close and within drafting range. Speaking of drafting range, it looks like Kimi Räikkönen moves relatively close to Brendan. We'll see if he can pass his way through. He did have some technical issues, I believe, or he started from the pits, something like that, but we do see him rejoining us now. Over in the Pro Expert race, Set has taken the lead once more. We do see Oya is in 9th position, so This could be a potential drop for Oh Yeah, but a lot of time does remain. And we've seen what he can do. Seems there's only a few seconds gap between the majority of the pack there, so he can certainly make something happen. Kimi Räikkönen goes off, though, takes some of the pressure off of Brennan Diaz, and as that happens, Exeter finally gets his chance, but can't make anything of it just yet. Do see Kirsten Crafton lurking behind, waiting for any type of an incident to see if he can mook his way through. Ooh, and Ostrich spins off. That's going to let Christian, though, take a little bit more acceleration on Brendan. And won't be able to make much happen. Brian, in a little bit of a battle with Kimi. Kimi manages to make his way through, but Brian down Wheatcroft Straight holding on to the group here. So definitely a lot of improvement from the first race. See, Brian's personal best right now sitting at a 155. So we did see that from him towards the middle of the race last time around, but I do believe he ended up in the low 150s, if not 140s, by the time the first race had ended. So definitely starting to feel a little bit more comfortable on the track, something we like to see. Exeter still fighting off Christian Crafton behind, but Ostrich with that spin falls all the way down to P7. So traffic must have just been in the way. He's got Elvis, it seems, not really breathing down his neck too much. Kind of seems might be Elvis in a little bit of a battle with JT Pez. Just for fun, I would imagine. Or JT Pez may have even moved past him at this point and is trying to continue his way up the board. He does have a full minute to make up on Brian in front, so it would certainly take a lot of action and not the good kind to make that happen. Don't want to ignore Kimi Räikkönen finding his way past Brennan Diaz. Oh, as Brennan Diaz actually has a spin through the hairpin. He's trying to get his tires back on the track. We'll see how much it costs him. Not going to be too much, but does let Brian go through, as Brian will try and keep chasing Kimi down. Kimi slowly getting further and further away. Now 40 seconds to make up to the man in front. Exeter put a little bit more space between him and Christian Crafton behind. A little dive like that, though, certainly is not going to be helping. We'll see if maybe, if maybe Exeter can make something happen in the next 5 minutes, though, because he has been clinging on to the rear bumper here pretty damn good. Brennan Diaz is going to be our first DQ from the second race today, withdrawing himself here in the 8th lap of the race. Ooh, and we do hear the familiar sound. Christian Crafton going off wide behind Exeter, so again, going to give him a little bit more comfort. Blazek trying to clean up behind him, see if he can make something move as a few mistakes start to show. Although this is only a 20-minute race, you got to remember this is the second one following 45 minutes of practice and a 15-minute race, or qualifying. So even if these guys didn't do all of the sessions, they're definitely done a lot of laps on the track tonight. I'm sure they're getting sure. I always seem to be. I don't know where all this is coming from. So that's going to be Wibba now. 6 seconds separating him and Marin C. So he's actually closed 4 seconds in, I want to say, 5 minutes. So it's not out of the question. Marin C is going to definitely have to take a clean line through. You saw Exeter and Kirsten Crafton fighting there, followed by Blazek. And then here comes a little bit of a gap. And we'll follow Ostrich as he gets a little broadcaster's curse into the S's. So overall grid looking relatively tight up until P7, and then that is where we've got some of the victims of various incidents throughout the race. Again, it's always unfortunate when these things do go down. We do see Chris C, though, not too far away from his compadre. Only about 6 seconds separating them. I know there's 3 minutes remaining, but with the way these two are fighting, I wouldn't be surprised to see something happen here. Although Christian's starting to back off, or maybe Exeter starting to really put the hammer down as he has found a full half a second for a moment. He's definitely taking it a little bit easier. You can see that in this delta and the rise and the drops. He knows where to find the time, but he's not trying to push too hard. Just wants to focus on staying on the track. I do see Brian getting a little close to Kimi Räikkönen. I think Kimi may have had a little bit of a spin, giving Brian an opportunity. 1.3 seconds separating them. Oh, and Brian goes for a late dive. Does go for it, but sends it just a little bit too hard, so he'll be playing catch up on the back foot. He's got the leader behind him, Marin C. So let's see how this shapes up. You can actually see Wibba in the background. This is going to be the first taste of traffic the leaders have had. Brian's going to get the blue flag probably pretty shortly here if he hasn't already. But he knows he's got a little bit of space separating them. The problem is they close up to each other on the turns. As we can see, the leader now starting to really push with some acceleration. He's looking for Brian to pick a lane, which he does. This is going to be a little bit tricky. I think Brian sees that it's a blue flag situation though and manages to pull back. Ooh, but Marancy pushing the car a little bit harder than he needs to, giving Wibba a little bit more time here. So now less than 3 seconds separating them. Probably about 2 laps, or sorry, 1 more lap to go after this one. Keeping our eyes with Brian here as Wibba will have to make his way through as well. And they do seem to have 1 more car in front. That's going to be Kimi Räikkönen. He does have the pace to try and hold them off, though, and maybe not give them a passing opportunity or not let himself come into play. Wibba still moving more and more, moving closer and closer. This is going to be an interesting spot. He's got to get around Brian here. Gets a little hairy for a moment, but he manages to pull it off. Does cost him a little bit of time initially, but he's through. So 3 seconds he's got and 1 lap separating them. Blazek and Chris C now in a battle of their own as they head closer and closer into their final lap. And we do see Exeter and Christian Crafton still neck and neck after all this time as well. So nobody giving up just yet. We're going to have another electric end to our race here. As we see Chris C looking to line up the inside. He's certainly thinking about it. He's within the range to do it. And Blazek sees it coming, backs out and looks for the acceleration into the Wheatcroft straight. He will have it initially. Will he be able to put enough space between them though? Chris seems to actually be moving forward a little bit more, so Chris is going to get the better line into Redgate until he goes wide and not able to make use of it. That's going to certainly give Blazek the opportunity. They do have Elvis now, who's gone off the track shortly behind them. Obviously not trying to deteriorate from the men in front and the hard battle those guys are fighting up there, but this is where the battle is. Chris C and Blazek. Chris C found the opportunity once, but now he's got to hang on. They've got a full lap to go. I know we're not saying too much, but that's because we are locked in. Heading down Starkey Straight now. Blazek starting to lose a little bit more time, though, to the man in front. This could be our lineup that we're looking at. Baron C now coming down the final straight. He'll be across the line in just a moment here. Finishing up race 2 of our second week. Wibba across the line in a well-deserved P2. Grinding his way through. Was hoping for a little bit more of a battle in the final lap between him and Marion C. Maybe I think 2 more laps and we would have seen that fight, but beautiful laps all around. Marion C with a 48.1, Wibbo with a 48.9, so not able to pull out that 46 we saw in
Nice
qual.
job, Chris.
Chris C does manage to lock it up in the final turn there.
Right.
Or rather, lock up the
It's the
position, I
second
should
slowest
say.
in the whole race.
Who said good job?
And it seems to work
That was,
out pretty
Blizzard.
well.
Oh, fair play to you. Fair play.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, he took it from me, and then last 2 laps.
We are just watching the line now. Totally not keeping tabs. I think we're going to get a reverse finish from one Mr. JT Peds here, coming across the line, representing the number 70 car. And I think Scientology as a whole, I think, was what he was going for there with the South Park livery. That's what we're calling it. And you can see it in the distance. Mr. Raikkonen
Curiosity
in the
crafting.
number 63.
And, Chris C, what was your fastest lap?
Believe he was the final racer not to get lapped by our front runners. Crosses the line, P8. Another hard fought battle all around. We do see some
How do I
collusion
check
going
that?
on.
148.7. Chris,
Check
yours
it.
was 148.0.
Ah, you beat me. I got a 148.3.
Oof.
Alright, GG's.
Totally didn't just lose my headset there, but yep, some
Yep,
collusion
GG's
between the
everyone.
48 and the 97 car. But good racing all around for sure.
The last one.
Thank you, boys and girls and
Yep, see
racers
everyone next
and
week.
racists for watching.
Yes.
Not the last one. Never the last.